back to my channel. So I was not going to cook tonight, but I want to prepare something for tomorrow. I'm feeling a little cabin fever, and so I'm going to be taking a drive with my husband somewhere far out of LA and just go and have a picnic lunch somewhere. And so I wanted to prepare something that can kind of hang out at room temperature and I don't have to worry about it needing refrigeration. So I'm going to be making some kind of a pasta salad slash primavera. I'm going to show you what I use and also give you probably a couple of useful tips. Okay, so it is raining and I do have the window open a crack, so if you hear water, that's the rain outside. I'm going to be cooking up some spaghetti and I have some water that is starting to boil on the stove. I am going to be using green beans and a bell pepper as part of my sauce, as well as some lemon zest. I have a massive garlic clove, some chicken broth, and parsley. And of course I'll be using olive oil, salt, and pepper. And then I'm not going to do this tonight, but with the tuna, that'll go on top tomorrow. So that'll be something to take along with us. And I've also discovered a few tomatoes that are starting to get wrinkly, so I'm actually going to be using this as well. I'm going to go ahead and de-seed these as usual. I like using Roma tomatoes because they're really easy to just pull the seeds out, and unless I'm doing like a plain old tomato sauce for jarring, you don't need that. Okay, so to my pan I have some olive oil and I've sliced my garlic very thin. If I'm using one large clove, but you can use 2 to 3 smaller cloves. And I'm also going to add the chili flake to this, and I'm gonna let this come up to a bit of a heat. So I'm starting cold pan, cold oil, and bringing it up to temperature slowly. Now the olive oil is going to be the base for your sauce, so I do recommend using about at least 2 tablespoons. I'm cooking about a half a pound of pasta, but I have a lot of vegetables, so I do want them to get nice and cooked into this base. Because I'm using tomato, that'll make it a little bit more saucy, which in a way can be good. It can bind everything together. Now this is starting to sizzle, so I'll let this continue for about a half a minute because, again, you don't want the garlic to burn. When it burns, it turns bitter, and I do not want that. Now, for the chili flake, you don't have to use it. I like using it. It gives it a little extra flavor, a little heat, a little kick. And now that this is sizzling some more, I'm going to add my tomato with a pinch of salt and let this kind of cook down a little bit. Then I'm going to bring my heat to medium. It was on a medium-low, but now I want this to start working. And you don't have to stir it constantly, but keep an eye on it. To my seasoned water, I am going to go ahead and start my pasta. And like I said, this is half a pound. This is left over from the other night. And as the tomatoes start breaking down, I'm going to add my other vegetables. And I did cover this for about a minute to kind of help it cook through. And I am going to give it another pinch of salt. You do want to season this. You do want it to taste good. There is a lot in here. And then just stir to combine. I am going to add pepper, but I will do that towards the end. So as I'm combining this, I do want to get this kind of all together. Then I want to cover it. But before I cover it, I'm going to add some chicken broth. I would add wine, but I'm going to keep it pretty simple tonight. So I'm going to say about half a cup, or like a third of a cup to half a cup. And then go ahead and cover and let this cook down. In the meantime, I've gone ahead and chopped my parsley and zested my lemon. Okay, so you do want your vegetables to still be a little crisp tender. You don't want this cooking to death. This is just about ready, and my pasta is just about ready, so I'm actually going to pull out my pasta and put it in a serving dish, and then I'm going to top it with this mixture. And I'll let this continue to kind of heat up and cook. I am going to be adding my parsley as soon as I shut the heat off. Now, people sometimes wonder like how long to cook their pasta. Me, I kind of follow what the box says, but I actually will just take a piece out and taste it, and if it's al dente, then I know it's ready. And I'm pulling the pasta out because just in case I want to add any pasta water, it is there for me. So to my pasta, I'm just going to go ahead and add everything in my skillet, as well as my parsley and lemon zest. I don't add the lemon juice because the lemon juice will turn the color of the green beans into a gray, ugly mess. Also added some cracked black pepper, and now I'm just going to toss this well. One more thing that I will do is add a little bit of my good olive oil, and that will just give it a really nice flavor. And this looks pretty good. However, I am going to test it for quality control. Okay. You can add cheese to this, but I'm not because I'm going to be eating it with tuna. Okay, so I've just given myself a pasta facial, but this turned out really nice. It's good. It's just a little spicy, not too much. You have your vegetables in there, you have your carbs in there, and then like I said, tomorrow when we get to our destination, we'll just open a can of this, drain a little bit of the excess oil, and put it on top. And then the lemon that I zested I'll bring with us because it'll just be easier. I don't want to add lemon to this right now. So I'm going to transfer this to a storage container, but I am going to let it cool before it goes into the fridge. And then this is something that will definitely travel well if it's, you know, kept at room temperature for a while. That's fine. As I mentioned, you can serve this with cheese, but I am one of those people that do not eat cheese with fish. This is not a traditional pasta primavera. And then to go with this, we'll bring some mandarins for dessert and some drinks, and it should be a nice afternoon. So this is going to be to pack up in the morning. I have my pasta in here, my tuna up here. I've pre-sliced my lemon so I don't have to deal with cutting anything later on. We have some mandarins for the road and for dessert, as well as a couple of granola bars, and water is in the car. And it's hot in the kitchen, it's cold outside, but I hope you enjoyed this recipe. This was completely impromptu, not planned at all, but I do really appreciate you watching. I will have a written recipe out down in the description box below, so please check that out. Let me know if you decide to try it. Let me know how you liked it. I will probably be posting a lot this week, and not necessarily things that are long or complicated, so stay tuned for all of that. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time. Bye.